How does it feel to be back in Portland and preparing for a real regular season game this weekend?
First of all, historical day, no? Today, first press conference in the facility, which is great. Glad to be back home. I think preseason was long. Guys done very well because they were focused the entire trip, and it was great the way we ended on Saturday. Both teams were able to play against a quality team, and now we're ready to go to Colorado, a tough match, but glad to be back in Portland now.
How do you feel about where the team is at this point, and do you feel like, even though you guys haven't made a ton of changes in the offseason, that this group is in a good position to build off last year and take steps forward?
I think for what I've seen, the group is solid. The group has been doing really well, especially. I think one of the best things is how united everybody is, and we can always improve, we can always do better. There's never a moment that we feel that satisfied. We can always continue to work, but it's been very good. I mean, looking back at preseason last year and what they've done this year is very different, and very content with the way things are worked out, and especially how we enter in right now to our first match against a difficult team.
Colorado is a very different team than last year. They've brought in a lot of veterans from the league. What do you guys need to do to prepare for facing them this weekend?
Yes, we have seen the progress of Colorado, the different changes that they have made with the experienced players from MLS. We see also the way they play is different, and we have analyzed a lot of the different things. We're working on it, and as I said, we feel it's going to be a tough match. We saw what they did in LA, and we're preparing accordingly. We feel pretty good about what we bring in there, and we're ready to be able to play.
And then I saw them all out there today, so they're probably okay. But Blanco, Marco, and Bill Tuiloma were all either had come out of games due to injury or were dealing with injuries in Tucson. Are they all fine at this point?
They're all perfect. The three of them that you mentioned, they're doing very well. Only Kendall is the only one right now that is recovering, but everybody else is okay.
Coach, I can't help but think back on this point last year, and from the outside it looks like there are a lot of differences. To you, when you're comparing where the team was at this point heading into the Los Angeles game and where they are now heading into Colorado, what differences come to mind?
So many differences. Once a coach is settled for a year and the group understands, the dynamics of things, things are better, different, and I think that's a positive for us this year. Also, we cannot just feel that we're going to enter into this match against Colorado and what we did last year make us earn something in this game, because we have to make sure that we put up the work, that we're ready for it. But it's completely different this year. Everybody's on the same page. We understand what we need to do. There's a few additions that I think have made us be better, and they're starting to understand as well what we're looking to do. And overall, it's been very positive.
What is it like for you personally, having a year of MLS experience under your belt, going into this new challenge? How does that experience affect how you prepare for or enter into the 2019 season?
Being past, already 1 year, there's some things that you say, okay, this is what I expected, and these are the things that I saw. It is what I prepared for, and now I lived it. This season is going to be completely different. Whatever we learned last year is going to be different this year. There's different coaches. The teams that we face look different. Our conference, I think, even more competitive this year. And I think we need to be prepared for what is coming from the first match. Take one game at a time. But this season is going to be completely different. There's an expectation as well. We did well last year, so we enter into this first match as the second team in MLS that reached the final, but everything starts from zero, and we need to make sure that we are the team that we want to be right away from the beginning of the season.
As was mentioned before, Colorado has made a lot of changes. They have a new fullback. They brought in Benny Feilhaber to their midfield, but up front they have a completely new dynamic with Kai Kamara and Diego Rubio, two very proven and dangerous strikers. What is it like for you and your staff to prepare for those players when you don't have a lot of tape on them to see what the dynamic is going to be like between them?
No, we have enough tape. Yeah, we've seen enough, and they're good. They're a good team. I think the additions made them be a difficult team. They play completely different. I think they tried a little bit last year towards the end to go in this path, but I think they're perfected it, and I think it's going to be a challenge, as I said before. Also, the first game at home, they're going to be excited. They play in Portland at the moment. I think very competitive game for them. So we need to be prepared. It's not going to be easy, but we see what they do. They do some things very well. Also, we feel that there's some other areas that we can take advantage of, and we're preparing for it. And I think it's going to be a good match.
And then my last question, one of the changes that has to happen to this year's team is in central defense. What are the factors that you and the staff are considering when deciding who is going to eventually end up being the starter this weekend in central defense, as well as the factors that you're looking for from the players to emerge over the season?
In every position, you know what I'm going to say, they all compete. So who's going to play is going to be based on what we see right now in practice, who's looking best, who's doing the job that we feel at the moment deserves the opportunity to be able to start playing, and everybody's competing. That's the good thing. That's what we want. We want to make sure that we have two players in every position that can fight for a starting position, and that's what we're going to do. So they all have the opportunity to be able to step in. Replacing Liam is impossible, and we're not looking to replace him. We're looking to make sure that we get something different with the players that we have. And the good thing is that we have 4 or 5 center backs that can do a very good job. So I think the competition is going to be very good.
Again, I know everyone's competing, but in terms of Jorge Maria coming in, do you feel like he's at a point in terms of his integration and adjustment where he is competing for a starting role, or do you think that it's going to take a little bit of time for him to sort of settle?
I've been surprised how he has adapted so quickly. I've been surprised in how smart he is in regards to understanding the role and what is expected from him. So he's putting a good challenge right away from the beginning to be an important player, to make sure that he shows that he wants to play from the first day. So credit to him. We're making decisions, and I think he's ready to step in the field if he's going to be the one selected to play in this weekend.
Obviously, last year, when you were introduced, we asked you what kind of style of play and identity we would expect from the Timbers, and obviously that evolved throughout last year. And by the end of the season, you had sort of a consistent, at least, formation and style of play. What do you think we can expect from the team this year in terms of style of play? Is it going to be more of what we've seen sort of in the playoff run last year, or do you expect there to be some changes?
I think everybody will be able to see against Colorado how we're going to play, and we're going to keep some of the core values, but also we are evolving to more things. And I think you have to take in consideration each match, because I think each match brings something a little bit different that we have to make sure that we adapt, and I think the group is on the right page.
And to clarify, what is Kendall's injury?
Right now, he's going through a little bit of a hamstring. He's feeling a lot better. We're just being very precautionary to make sure that he gets well quickly, that he doesn't have any other moments in which he's going to now take longer to recover. But he's pretty much almost done with his recovery on his hamstring. I don't remember if it's the right or the left.